Hey, welcome to Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. It's the other host, Jack, and something interesting seems to have happened for today. I'm a little high up. Anyway, so something interesting seemed to happen. Both Oz and I accidentally planned pork chop videos for today. So we decided to go ahead and try and make some sort of game or challenge out of it. I don't exactly remember which one or the subject matter for that instance. It was either who would make the better video or who could make the better food. Anyway, go ahead and let us know in the comments how that works out. But yeah, today I'm going to bring you some grilled pork chops. I have some thick cut ones here. These are actually really good stuff. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so I saw the thumbnail to Oz's video, and it looks like he actually made something pretty fancy with his pork chops. But I hope you're not here for that. I hope you're here for a tutorial on how to make some damn good grilled pork chops, because that's what I'm doing. I didn't plan anything extravagant. I have 8 pork chops here. 4 of them are thick cut, 4 of them not so much. Now we're going to go ahead and put our lime juice on here. I like to put lime juice on pork and beef. It comes out really well. It makes it just a little bit more tender, and adds a really good citrus flavor. Alright, next we're going to add our Williams Food Co. Rib Tickler for pork and chicken. This stuff is really sweet. Actually, I need to take the cap off. I used a heck of a lot of it. Now this stuff is nice and sweet. As you can probably tell, it has brown sugar in it. It unfortunately does clump up rather easily. It could be just due to the humidity of where I am, or it's just a side effect of the brown sugar in general. Okay, so something I never really thought of, and only really did it because I had this piece off to the side sitting here wondering how the hell I was going to season it. I decided, I'll just go ahead and rub it against all the other ones, and I was like, wait, it's actually not too terrible a way to season your meat. Alright, so let's get back into seasoning. Next up, we're going to put our garlic powder. We're going to follow it with some onion powder. This is not an always used thing, but I kind of like to use onion powder with pork chop. And then we're going to use some coarse black pepper. And I swear I thought I had some. Oh yeah, I do. Chili powder. I put this on everything pretty much, except for pastas. I don't put it in pastas. But when it comes to meat, I almost always use chili powder. I think I even use it on fish, but don't quote me on that. Alright, so go ahead and rub this in, flip it over, and do the other side. Yeah, you have to do both sides. Who would have thought? So yeah, go ahead and flip it over and do both sides. And let it sit for about 10 to 12 hours. This is just like pork, just like beef and chicken. The longer you let it sit, the better it usually comes out. But there is an upper limit. You don't want to let it sit for more than a day. You really don't want that. So yeah, just go ahead and cover it up. Let it sit in the refrigerator. Don't leave it sitting on the counter. Bad. And we'll go ahead and get to the next part. Alright, so here we are with our relatively new Weber grill. It's only been used twice before. So I put the charcoal off to one side. As I mentioned in the previous video, it makes it easier to control your cooking. Especially if you're new to the whole barbecuing and grilling, I highly recommend putting it off to the side. It's much more forgivable. You can make mistakes and easily be forgiven for them. And also, the food comes out really good in this style. Also, another thing you can do, or you really should do, is oil your grate. I oiled it off camera. I applied some, I don't remember what oil put on it. Yeah, oil it, and it'll preserve the life of it, and it'll keep the food from sticking, because believe it or not, the food actually can stick to the grate. Now, we'll come back when the coal is, the charcoal is white hot, or maybe before that. I'm too impatient, because it is 1 in the morning. Alright, so we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Alright, so the charcoal is about where I want it, and I'm all out of patience. So I'm going to go ahead and add our pork chops. I'm going to try and put the thicker ones closer to the fire, because they're going to take longer to cook. And I don't want to be out here all night. Alright, so that's 2 thick ones. Oops, off the camera. There's the third one. And there's number 4 right there. Put you here for now. And these thinner ones can go in the back. They won't take as long to cook, so they don't have to be as close to the fire. Sorry if the camera's not focusing properly. I am getting it a little bit in the way. And go ahead and adjust things around. Alright, so after the pork chops get placed, go ahead and just put the lid on it and let it sit for a couple minutes. You really don't have to keep checking it. It'll really take care of itself for the most part. Just make sure it doesn't sit on one side for too long. It can sit for about 2 or 3, maybe even 4 minutes where I'm going to come look at it again. And we'll come back in a couple minutes. Alright, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's do all. Alright, it's been about 5.5 minutes. Let's go ahead and take a look. Now, we already have really good and nice color change, but it is by no means done. In fact, I probably wouldn't even flip this right now. I'm going to go ahead and let it sit for another 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll flip it. But here, let's go ahead and get a little peek at the underside, just for giggles. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give it 2 more minutes, and then we'll come back out here and flip it. Alright, so it's been about 2.5, 3 minutes, and pardon the begging cats. Before I flip it, I'm going to go ahead and add some more lime juice to keep it nice and moisturized. And no, the cat's actually not begging for food. The cat's begging to get let in of all things. I'd much rather have that than pork chops. If you have a spray bottle, that will work really well for this as well. Much better than using a spoon. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and flip them over. Let's get a close-up on the bottom side again. So yeah, this is coming out really, really good. After I flip it, I'm going to go ahead and give it about 4 minutes. And then I'll come out here and check the temperature with the thermometer. And we'll see if we're anywhere near being done. I mean, I kind of doubt it, but could be. The temperature's pretty high. Alright, so yeah, as I mentioned a minute ago, we're going to go ahead and let this sit for about 4 minutes, and then I'll come back out with the thermometer, and we'll see if it's anywhere near ready to go. Alright, so here we are about 6 minutes later. Let's go ahead and pick one of these up and probe it. Now, I like to get the thicker ones and stab straight into it. Let's see. We're at 142. It's upside down from your point of view, but for me it's 142. It needs to be 145, so it's not ready. So we're going to let it sit for another 2 minutes. Actually, no, wait. That was the thick one. Let's go ahead and check one of the thin ones. It's possible the thin ones are done. So let's go ahead and just poke that in there. Yeah. Yeah, the thin ones are done, so we're going to go ahead and pull the thin ones off. But I did use a contaminated prong, so I'm going to have to leave this one on for a little bit longer so it'll get cleaned up and safe to eat. But I'm going to go ahead and pull the thin ones off. Alright, so here we are, finished product. Now I wasn't able to record the final shots of pulling them off the grill because, believe it or not, despite it being 1:40 in the morning, somebody's deciding to use an impact wrench. Yeah, welcome to Texas. So yeah, here we go, final product. Now, after you pull it off the grill, go ahead and let it sit for about 3 minutes. So, yeah, it's called settling. You want to let it settle. It'll take about 3 minutes for this. Of course, settling time varies depending on what kind of meat you're using, so be sure to look that up. Let's go ahead and carve one up. Alright, so it's been about 3 or 4 minutes. Let's go ahead and cut it open. Look at that. That is really good. Now, it doesn't look it, but it is actually really juicy. Let's go ahead and cut off a small piece and get a closer look and taste it. Okay, so yeah, that's some really tender pork chop. It's really good. It's nice and sweet. And it has that lime citrus flavor as well with it. It goes well together, believe it or not. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this was really easy for you to follow. It's also extremely easy. It's really just put it out there, let it sit 5-6 minutes, put some juice on it so it stays moisturized, flip it over, put juice on it, let it sit another 5-6 minutes. It's really easy. Just put it out there and forget about it. Just don't forget about it, permanently. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Be sure to compare this with Oz's thing that he made. His actually looks really fancy. All I did was make pork chops. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, thanks for watching. You can catch us here Tuesdays and Fridays, or I guess twice. For what day is it? It's today's Friday. Yeah. Oh God, it's too early in the morning. It's almost 2. So yeah, you're getting 2 videos today. Lucky you. So yeah, see you next time.